Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, it's another scorcher of a day. Another day I don't really feel like sitting around the house doing nothing, so we're going to go out and do a little roadside attraction in Palestine, Texas. There's kind of a fun little sculpture that's been built out in the middle, kind of a public area there, and looked like kind of fun. It's probably just going to be something that'll be kind of amusing to look at, and we're going to check it out. We'll also see if there's anything else in Palestine that's worth looking at. Let's go to Palestine. I think we're there. All right, here we are. This is what we're looking for. I guess railroading is kind of a big thing here. There's a rail line right over here. Seems like they got a rail car over in a park over there. And they dedicated this little section to that thing. And we're gonna go take a look at this. Like I said, this looked kind of goofy from the picture, and I decided to check it out just because I wanted to get out and about today. Looks like they've got a bunch of people that kind of sponsored this. Looks like a lot of railroad stuff. Union Pacific. Got some tables here. Look like they're made from railroad rail car wheels. Let's see what this says here. Palestine Art Tracks, artist Terry Jones, and a telephone number. Apparently this has only been here for a few years. It was kind of funny. I like to check out the area on Street View on Google Maps, and when you're driving down this street you can clearly see it, but when you're out on that street from where the images are like 10 years old, it just shows this is an empty field. But yeah, they're definitely into their trains here. Boy, this thing's taking some wear too. He seems pretty jolly, but he also seems pretty rusty. I don't know about the construction of the track here either. That seems a little shaky for a rail car, but I don't know. We're gonna wander around here and see what else there is to see. There was one thing I was looking at, where they actually take you, it's like a railroad museum here, where they'll actually take you on like a 2-hour train ride, where it's like a 50-mile ride or something like that. Unfortunately, they only seem to do it on like Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and unfortunately I work those days, so in case you can't read it, that says chugging up there. Yeah, well, you don't have one of these in your town, do you? I don't really know the story about this, except that they, I guess they just kind of built this and put this here, so there isn't a whole lot of information on it online here. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go see what else is on the property. Looks like there's a dude in a gladiator car over here. Let's check him out. Okay, so I guess it isn't a gladiator car. I guess it's just some guy. It looks like he's driving stakes for a railroad. And they got a little train car here in the side of him. The side of the thing. Little building here in the back. It says Palestine Station. I guess they're proud of their railroad. So that thing looks like a train station. Is actually the visitor center. I went in there a little bit And the woman in there gave me some ideas of other things to go look at. There's apparently a bunch of different sculptures like this in town. So we're gonna kind of travel around this part of Palestine and see what we can see. I guess that's their restroom, so probably don't need to look at that too much. But I want to go see this train car here. Apparently the town preceded the railroad line, according to the woman in the visitor center. And as the rail line came this way, the town said nuts to that, and the town began moving that way. So it's kind of funny that they now kind of embrace the rail line, but weren't apparently that into it early on. So they're not going to let me get on board this thing, I guess, but it says keep off, so. Warning, no occupancy, for display only. Okay, well, that looks like a TV in there. I'm going to kind of hold the camera up there, and I won't be able to see even what that was until I get to the point where I edit here. No, I guess that isn't a TV. That looks like more the back of a chair or something. I don't know how well you can see in there, but okay, this is the Sacred Heart's Catholic Church. Basically, it's a couple blocks down from the visitor center, and the woman in there pointed this place out. This is almost 150 years old. It's been in this area since 1874. I love some of these old churches. I'm going to see if I can get in, but I want to walk around first. Look at it from the outside. Often these things are open. And then right across the street is the Redlands Hotel. That's been going on for about 109 years. So a lot of old architecture in this town. Bet you those stained glass windows look fantastic from the inside. Like I said, we're going to do an orbit of the outside here, and then we'll see what's inside if I can. Oftentimes these churches are open at all times, so you can go in there and look. I guess this is all part of the property here. Not every day you get to go into a 150-year-old church, right? And of course, it isn't a Catholic church unless you have a Virgin Mary out front. A lot of kind of cool ornamentation here. All right, let's see if we can get in here. Nope, I guess not. Looks really beautiful in there, though. Still beautiful from the outside, but I'm disappointed we couldn't get in. Now, right across the street from the church, a couple blocks over, are some more railroad-related sculptures. Although I'm not sure exactly how this relates to the railroad, but still kind of fun. Kind of a crazy looking giraffe. Look at that old clock. That's pretty cool. Rotary Club of Palestine, Texas is proud to dedicate this clock to the citizens of Palestine. Our clock will be a landmark and a source of pride for many years. It will signify to visitors that we have a proud and active Rotary Club. This Howard replica Seth Thomas clock is historically accurate with 4 faces, 36 inches in diameter, and stands 16 feet tall. It seems to keep decent time too. Hey, wabbit! And a little ballet action here. I see these little train sculptures all over the place. Like I said, it's kind of funny for a town that initially didn't embrace the railroad. Yeah, see what I mean? This is out in front of the Redlands Hotel. My mistake, the Redlands Historic Inn. But I guess you can understand where the mistake would come from. It does say Redlands Hotel, so. Another one of these, so they seem to have mass produced these and put these all over town. And another train here. I love the vibe of these little small towns that they have around, out here in Texas. It was sort of the same thing that kind of attracted me to Waco. Comic store. Old barber shop. Since 1903. Wow, that's a trip. Never had my hair cut in a 100-year-old barber shop. Kind of a cool mural on the side of this building, showing life way back when. Must be a ways back considering the cars that are there and the horses. A little bit more mural action. That's something that seems to be a lot more common in Texas than like in Southern California. You see a lot of buildings with murals on them. Check out this old theater. Guess it's still active. Looks like they're, I see Arsenic and Old Lace and Matilda. Home of the Palestine Community Theater. And more trains. Look at the architecture up there and the neon on that sign. Let me move off to the side a little bit so you can see that. Bet you that looks awesome at night. I love the brickwork on that building. The architecture as a whole is really nice. All the arches up there. They don't build them like that anymore. Free books. On my live stream once, I showed a free book that I got from the college I went to at the time, and it was like a 120-year-old astronomy book. That's kind of a trip. They have bat houses in town here, trying to get a little public awareness of it. Bat myths. Bats are pets. Bats are pests. Actually, quite the truth, quite the opposite. Bats are often considered a keystone species. The Earth would be without bats would be a very different, much poorer place. Bats around the world are playing an ecological role that are vital to the health and natural ecosystems and human economies. I know they eat large amounts of insects. That's what it says there. Yeah. Mexican free-tailed bat. That was the one that we saw in that bat colony. So they're doing their part. That's kind of cool. I can hear them in there too. You can hear them making a little racket in there. I'll leave them alone. It's sleeping time for them. There's another couple of murals over there. Let's go check those out. I'll check that out too. That's pretty cool. Like I said, you just don't see those very much in California, but they seem to be very popular in Texas. Kind of a shame. This whole wall seems to be about the history of Palestine, but part of the early stuff is covered up by this container for the trash cans. Definitely needs a little rework there. That's obviously some military references, submarines, airplanes. The whole thing seems to be largely military related. Okay, there's a historical marker here. Let's go see what that says. The Palestine Servicemen's Club, World War II. Since 1872, a railroad has been a defining aspect of Palestine. During World War II, with the town more than 100 miles from the nearest military installation, the railroad gave local citizens the opportunity to show their support to trainloads of soldiers passing through the city. In June 1942, area residents organized a service group inspired by, but independent from, the United States organization USO. Zula Hanks oversaw the fundraising, chaperoning, and management of the club, operated by scores of local women. Volunteers offered refreshments, letter writing materials, music, dancing, and conventions at the club's room at the O'Neill Hotel at this site across Spring Street from the railroad tracks. Yeah, railroad tracks are right there. The women also took sandwiches and cookies to distribute to the soldiers unable to leave the trains. Additionally, the Palestine group financially supported a separated Negro service club that served African American troops who often rode at the back of the trains further down the line from this point. Military service people from around the country voiced their gratitude for Palestine's hospitality through recorded messages on radiograms and in countless letters. The volunteers continued their outpouring of support through the final days of the war, and the last troop train came through town on January 1st, 1946. Today, the story of the Palestine Club demonstrates the community's commitment to World War II service on the home front. Dedicated in 2006. That's cool. Little Nightmare Before Christmas action here. Guess it's 2 o'clock. I guess this is the courthouse. I'm just guessing that because all the parking in the front says judges parking. It's a beautiful old building. See if we can go across here and figure out how old it is. A lot of these buildings are really old. Especially when you're dealing with a town like Palestine that's probably 150 years old. Gonna walk around the building. Sometimes there's like a cornerstone that'll tell you about the building, or at least when it was built. Yeah, there's something over here. Let's check this out. Yeah, there we go. Erected by the people of Anderson County, Texas, AD 1914. Dedicated to him who is the author of Universal Justice. And I guess some of the people who served here are early judges and commissioners for different precincts. So I gotta admit, when I started planning this vlog, didn't really think that that little train sculpture thing was gonna carry a whole vlog, and you know, it really didn't. But it was an opportunity to check out Palestine, which is kind of a mid-sized town, about 100 miles from Waco. And truth is, I love wandering around little small towns like this. And there's just a certain feel, a certain vibe of it, and may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I enjoyed doing that. I hope you enjoyed coming along for the ride. But I think we're coming to the end of our video. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.